Good evening, everyone. We are playing DreadLore, a new TTRPG that rewards immersive roleplay. And tonight's game is Into Space.
And
in DreadLore, the players use their character traits to gain a bit of control over the fiction. If their task is opposed or particularly difficult, they might have to throw down. Twice, that is. Now, our characters. We have Dolby, played by Ken. We have Skip Trace, played by Drizzle. Yeah. We have Katrina Tillis, played by Andrea. And we have Burgess, played by Daniel. And we want to thank our music people, all lowercase letters, as well as Mr. Interrupt. We also want to thank our Patreons, Natalia Cline, Tim Roberts, and Daniel Holker.
That guy.
We want to thank Couchfire for media production, and we want to thank Trireblet for whatever they do. And for our sponsor, we want to thank the collective labor of everyone who has written anything, any piece of software, manufactured any piece of hardware, whether they be here or in some other jurisdiction with a far lower minimum wage and far more permissive workplace rules, you know, whoever they are, wherever they may be or were. We want to thank the collective labor and the contributions that they have made to give us the infrastructure that we have so that we can broadcast this to all of you. Because this is indeed Labor Day.
Oh.
Well, yeah. It's true. It's very true.
Right. Thanks, Holker.
Daniel, out.
Do we get our cash bonus for this episode?
Apparently we do.
This is overtime, right? We get time and a half for this one.
Yeah, you get, because it's Labor Day.
It is Labor Day.
Time and a half. Yeah. Okay. So the last time we played this game, we left off. You guys just got back to the Cool Mint, your spaceship. You're on Novus Terra, this moon, which we keep on calling a planet. It's where the 3 settlements of the Sol system have well settled. You guys came here to set things straight. When you got here, the settlement 2 had been demolished by a nuclear something or another, civil war a few years ago. As far as you know, the food settlement is still active, and the capital, we'll call it Novus Terra. Novus Terra 1. It's where you rolled in and you overthrew the dictator Confucius and rooted out all the dissidents to the SSA, the Sol System Authority. And now the right people are in charge. Specifically, Colonel Harold Grimm, who now calls himself the Generalissimo. He's got a pretty cool name, actually, which I'll find real quick. And you know why? His name is. He's technically a captain in the PNB, the Prime Naval Brigade, but whatever. Generalissimo Godfried Harold Grimm. That is his name. Yeah, you reinstated him. And he did what dictators do best. So, you're all loaded up on your freighter, the Cool Mint. It has been gassed with all the fuel cells. You have supplies. You have retrofitted it with cryo beds and some bits and pieces. A new RI, a new robotic ancillary named Susan. And yeah, the engines are starting to thrum up. You're down one engineer. Engineering is unconscious and recovering from his interrogation with Colonel Grimm. And Dolby is walking back on to the Cool Mint as we talk. We're in the montage. Where actually did we leave last session? What was the last moment? Do you remember, Ken?
I was going to talk to Susan. Grimm had said unlocked all the clamps for us to go and sent me and Dole back and his stretcher. And I was going to talk to Susan, and we were going to have a short conversation.
As a Skip, you are outside dismantling or disarming the plastic, the T4 charges you had placed on there to blow up the docking clamps, just in case. And you're in the middle of that. I will say that Brick is out there as well, having come out to help you. Cool Me is with you, Dolby. Katrina, we'll say that you are in the mess, still finishing up your very, very early breakfast. It's like 3:30, 4 in the morning at this point. Extremely late. Burgess, you'll be in the, what is it called? The hold. Maybe securing the food and supplies and such. Archangel is not there. Who am I missing? Burgess, Becky is sitting on a box nearby. A crate, excuse me. Cherokee will be in the mess as well. Silas will not. Cherokee will be in the mess with you, Katrina. Silas is on their way to the Cool Mint. Has jumped on a golf cart and is maybe radios in to Dolby. Captain, I'll be there in T-minus 5-10 minutes, depending on moon traffic.
I didn't forget about you.
Of course, Captain. You never forget about any of us. So this is montage. You guys get your soft role play on as you see fit. There's no bidding. There's no throwing down dice in this part. This is your little setup as we move to where your ship is ready to go, and the world acts for or against you in some ambivalent whatever way.
Susan,
who wants to go first?
How are you doing?
Yes, Captain. You're just talking to the ship.
How long do you think it'll be before you're operational?
I am fully operational, Captain, although I assume you're speaking about the ship?
Yes, the ship. How long before the ship is operational?
The ship is, as you humans say, ready to go.
Oh.
After, of course, Skip Trace removes the T4 from the docking clamps.
No, he's a good soldier. Can you scan the ship to see if there are any, explosives or ordnance?
Yes, there are.
That we didn't put here, that maybe somebody else could have stowed on the ship.
Oh,
Like the artifacts that Grim supplied us with?
Yes, there is one crate of artifacts in the stow. Would you like me to scan them?
Yeah, please.
Burgess is down there.
Maybe Burgess can take a look through. I mean, would it be better for him to do it? I don't know. Do you think scanning might set off any potential ordnance?
Where are you, Dolby?
I'm just in the main,
like the cryo chamber or the cockpit. You can be on the dorsal.
Yeah, just
so
I'm just outside the cockpit, whatever that area is. Okay. Just outside.
So you're right outside the cockpit. There's this platform. There are steps that lead down, or I should say, a ladder that leads down to where the cryo chamber is. So you're kind of looking out over the cryo chamber. This is on the top, so we're going to call that level 1. That's the top of the ship, and then below that, level 2 is where the stow, the engine room, and all that crap are. Level 1 is where the cryo are, where the mess is, and some rooms. As you're talking to Susan, it's this sort of a purplish light from, we'll say, one of the nearby terminals, the holographic terminal that's pulsing with her essence. Forgive me, Captain, I've not been updated on your officers and fire team's ranks.
That's a good question. I have given them all ranks. We were ranked differently when we left Sol, but as I was promoted here on this planet to captain, I've got a series of different ranks for all the other folks. There's Lieutenant Alice Brick and
Lieutenant Brick.
Is that correct? No, that's not correct. I don't know why I don't have anybody's rank in front of me. I've forgotten everything. It hasn't come up in such a long time. We're gonna say
Private first class Brick.
It's Private First Class Brick. It's Lieutenant Cherokee Sue, first Lieutenant Sue. It's second Lieutenant Sue, and then I think that Skip and Burgess are officers.
Nope.
Corporals.
Now, is Burgess a corporal?
Burgess is a specialist.
Burgess is a specialist.
So that means he's a corporal.
And then Silas is just under Cherokee.
So Silas is a sergeant.
And then Katrina is a mercenary for hire.
And Kulmi is a lieutenant commander.
Yeah. So I think Kulmi, is she second in command at this point?
No, she's P&B.
Oh, she's P&B. She can. Okay, good to know.
I mean, she has rank.
But she's not. No, we can script.
She's not really active.
She's not active, so she lost her rank. So I'm gonna make her a private again. And
so you're gonna make her. You're just gonna conscript her as an attaché.
An attaché. I'm probably not a private. I'd make her a corporal.
Okay. All right. Real quick, moving down to Skip Trace outside, are you saying anything to Alice?
Oh, I'll just show her again. So a safe way to disarm this is you pull out the detonator first, so there's no accidents, and then the sputter you can just scrape off here and collect it and mush it back together, and use it in different ways. And I'm just doing that sort of stuff.
As she's watching you do this, you can tell, Skip, that Alice has, despite her age, her youth, and the fact that she's just a private, she's clearly worked with explosives before. as perhaps you're reminded that she was a dissident who sabotaged things. And maybe because you weren't on that mission, you might even wonder, what is it that happened on Luna when Dolby and the team met her?
Well, if you already know this stuff.
I don't know it. Listen, just because I'm Irish.
I don't mean to. If you know something, let me know. I'm just trying to help you out learn stuff. So.
No. Show me again. She kind of steps back and folds her arm and watches you.
No. I'll do it.
As you can tell, she's, maybe placating a little bit, but she seems genuinely interested.
I'm just trying to help.
Skip, as you're sitting there doing that, you can almost feel like her hovering over you.
So, you ready to finally get off this planet?
You know what? As soon as possible. I mean, I'd like to know all of what's going to happen and everything, but at the same time, we have places to be, and I don't know. I suppose I'm getting a little restless.
Yeah, that's like I said. Any of this downtime's the worst time. It gives you time to sit and think about things. I'd rather be in the action.
She nods, in agreement with you.
Well, if you want to, you can get the T4 off the other thing. I trust you to disarm it safely.
She winks at you.
Quicker we get it off, quicker we get these boots unlatched, we can get into the air and out of here.
Back inside, Dolby, you're talking to Susan. Captain, the issue is potentially a scan could set off ordinances. However, the scan is not good for human Zen flesh.
Oh, so we should get him out of there. Should we have him maybe take a look first and then do a scan? Which is less... Is that a better idea?
That is up to you. He could survive, especially if he's wearing his PMC armor.
Well, I don't think we should irradiate my corporal. Burgess?
Yes, sir.
Are the artifacts that Graham brought, are they where they need to be?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Right under Becky, sir.
Oh. Does Becky have anything to say about the artifacts?
Becky's kicking her legs as she looks down and pats the crate. Ding, ding.
No, sir.
Is everything in order? I'm gonna do a little. I'm gonna need you to exit the room.
Yes, sir. Where are you located at currently?
I'm by the bridge. Go find out what Katrina's up to. Actually, you know what you could do for me? Maybe do some stock of what resources we have around the ship, and if there's any additional information that you can suss up out of the room that you are currently in, because I don't want to irradiate you or your imaginary friend, Becky.
Yes, sir. I'm on that. I'm on it.
All right. Thanks.
Okay, so I will then attempt to make a visual inspection of the boxes and areas. I'm not going to open any of them because he did mention that I could get irradiated, and I'm not that crazy or stupid.
Yep. As you look around, Burgess, it's pretty standard stuff. The crates are fastened and secured well, just for space flight. They got the straps and everything on there, so nothing's gonna tumble and whatnot. They're fairly large crates. They look like foodstuffs and a few fuel cells. Of course, they're in separate locations, so it doesn't cross-contaminate. They're vacuum sealed. You see they have a little LCD on them, little holographic, simplistic monitor that you can interface with. And if you tap around on it, it tells what's in there. Mainly fuel cells, and then there's foodstuffs. There's a few cases of ammunition for the types of weapons and such that you guys use. If you go to the other storeroom, it's on the other side of the ship, which I'm assuming you do. There's the heavy ordnance, and you can see ammunitions for your guns, as in the ships on the gun. Sorry, the ship guns, as well as. Did you guys install a railgun on this thing?
Yes.
Yep. So there'll be munitions for the railgun itself, which they're very simplistic. Next to them, basically big batteries for the railgun. And then, it's ship supplies. There'll be one case. It is black and has all sorts of warnings over it, and it is a spare tactical nuke.
I will, along the way to the second room, I will attempt to find something to write a list of this stuff down on.
Someone should do that.
Huh?
Someone should do that.
Yeah. So that I can actually then present it to Lieutenant Dolby.
Yep.
Or Captain Dolby now.
Meanwhile, Becky, your spectral niece, is walking around. Burgess, you happen to notice she's using doors and all those things. She's obeying the laws of physics, so to speak. And here and there, like tampering with stuff, maybe like trying to get something open but can't. Looking around, and she's this little girl doing what a little girl would do. Every so often you might look over your shoulder and see her like with a jump rope, skipping. You can hear it. She seems really good.
Yeah, I will ignore her.
You do. She likes it. As you finish up your itinerary is the wrong word, inventory.
Yeah, and afterwards I will then attempt to make my way to the bridge.
You attempt and you succeed.
Yeah, don't have to throw down for that.
Nope.
I walk in and I say, sir, here's a list of everything on the ship, sir.
Thank you.
You notice, Dolby, it's apparently written on paper.
Where did you get that paper?
It's in one of the boxes. It said paper on it, so I just figured I'd open it up and use it.
Oh.
Yeah, and in fact, there will be there is a box. It has a bunch of printer paper, like old school paper, with
Matrix.
Yeah, with some pencils and all kinds of stuff, like a little sharpener. You kind of wondered what it was for a long time before Becky was like, "It's a sharpener. I saw one in a museum."
Why do you have that? Can you make this digital and send it to me, like in a email or an instant message?
I suppose. Do you it's been a while.
Go to a
the
terminal.
cryo sleep got to me. Is there some sort of terminal I can type this stuff up in?
Sure. There's a terminal right there.
Yes, sir. I'm on it. And so that's what I do.
Dolby, as you're handing it back to him, you notice that there's something written on the back of the paper where Burgess, I don't know how good your handwriting is. How good is your handwriting? Yeah. His, comedic, like kindergarten style handwriting on the back of this piece of paper. This is the kind of printer paper that has like the little terry off things, like it rolled out. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. It's green and white.
Yeah.
I can see it.
And I love those things. You notice on the back, or I should say the front, there's a bunch of typed documents. As you realize, these are documents. Burgess just pulled it out, and it, of course, folds up like it's not one sheet, right? You got to tear off those sheets. You know what I'm saying? They're not loose leaf. But he ripped it off, and yeah, it's this old like typewriter type.
I'll read what it says.
It looks rather boring. It is a manifest. Has weights. Looks like an invoice. Has a lot of weights and grammage, or I should say kilograms and tonnage. Prices of credits that you haven't seen before. You can guess it's tender or money that's used in the colonies. One of them is TMD.
What is
which I doubt you don't know. You've not seen it before.
Susan, what is TMD?
TMD abbreviation.
For what?
Captain, it would help if you were more specific in your questioning.
Oh, I mean, it has to do with these weights and measures and stuff, and I'll read off some of the...
TMD could be several things. It sounds like Telmar dollar.
Oh. Maybe I could show this to Katrina. She'd know what it was.
And at the top, you see there's no letterhead because it's just a piece. But as you are looking at it, you realize it's talking about ore.
Oh, okay. So this is just an ore manifest. I wonder why they made a paper version. That doesn't make any sense. All right.
Sir, would you like to see where the rest of the documents are?
Well, just put this one back with those documents, and wait till we do the scan, and then you can put it back. Do you feel pretty confident about scanning the materials, Susan?
I can certainly scan the materials, although some of the crates may be impregnable to my scans.
Sure. Well, I just want to know what's on my ship.
Understandable. Shall I commence?
Yeah. If you detect something explosive, stop the scan immediately.
I'm sure you'll detect it as well. As Katrina, you being in the mess, you and Cherokee, you'll note that the lights. So you're on the dorsal side, so level 1. The stow are on level 2 below you. You see the running lights that lead down to that area. The basically the Jeffries tubes that lead down. Turn red and orange and close off. Sink. As almost like a Xerox scan. And you guys hear this musical humming down below. That's going to go on for a little bit. Outside, Skip Trace, you guys have finished. As you see the little headlights of basically a moon rover golf cart thing coming this way. It gets past the security gate and is heading down the tarmac directly toward the Coolment.
Okay. I will. Alice, go on up into the ship. I'll wait a minute here and see if that's someone coming, or for us, or if it's just someone on out here.
Are you sure you want to be alone? You look over at it. She doesn't have her weapon. She's just moving around.
Don't worry. I've always got Lucille with me.
Do you have the big one on you?
Lucille's my knife.
Okay.
Betsy's the gun.
Right. Yeah, I am assuming you guys do not have your weapons on your person right now, like lounging in the mess, looking through boxes, unless you are. It's up to you. It wouldn't really be standard procedure. Then again, you're not in a standard, so you're not necessarily in a safe place. So it's okay to have them. Just make a note if you do, or where they would be if you don't.
Skip would, because of that magnet system, so he has free movement because it's just kind of hanging off of his back.
Sure. So you are armed. You notice that Alice is not.
No.
All right, and she goes upstairs. Moments later, the golf cart comes up, and you see, in fact, that Silas pops out, waves at you, starts walking up. Silas takes off his helmet as he approaches. Sweat matted down hair. Maybe the thought of how long has it been since Silas has been out of his armor.
Silas, glad you're back with us. We should be ready to go here soon. Probably by morning we'll be up in the air.
As he kind of looks over his shoulder and shouldering the sniper rifle, looks back at the guy. Yeah, I'd like to get out of here a lot sooner. These guys give me the creeps. Man, they've been on ground too long.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be sooner, but latest should be morning. And I'll go with Silas up into the ship.
As you guys are walking in, Silas looks down at the T4 you have in a bag. Planning on blowing something up?
Actually, we were just disarming.
He kind of stops. Okay. And waits for you to explain.
Well, in case we weren't sanctioned to lift off, we were still going to lift off, if you catch my drift.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to get up with the captain and get situated.
Yeah, I'll head with you. I need to figure out what we're doing next, because I've got to get word to Archangel.
As you go up the ramp, just think the Millennium Falcon. You go up the ramp, and you note that the doors are all locked. They have the red-orange glow over them, and you can't get into the ship right now.
Oh, it looks like...
As in you're in the ship, but you can't go up.
Right, yeah. Looks like some sort of scan or something's going on, I guess. So we'll just hold on right here first.
Captain Dolby, this is Silas. Oh, Skip, Trace, and I are in the loading bay.
I got a scan, or just scanning some new cargo.
Sounds good.
It'll be a few minutes, unless you want to. I mean, if you guys fully put on your suit, you'll probably be protected. But
Silas gives you a look, Skip.
We will just wait here for a minute, Captain. It'll be okay.
Yeah, it shouldn't take long. How long will it take, Susan?
How thorough would you like me to be?
Thorough enough that if you can't detect, I mean, thorough enough that where you're relatively sure, but I don't think he's gonna blow us up necessarily for no reason. So
there is a nuclear device in one of the crates.
Yeah. Well, we have nukes on the ship, so we'll I guess don't scan that. We'll take a look at it. And
there are anomalous items in 2 of the crates.
Sure.
The scan is complete.
What is that?
As it turns orange, yellow, then green.
Okay, everybody, let's close the hatch and we'll meet in the dining room.
As Silas closes.
Okay.
You guys montage up to the mess. You don't have a dining room.
The mess. Sorry, my terminology is not great. Yeah, let's meet in the mess, guys. Well, we got to plan our next steps. Know we're all antsy to get out of here. We just
you guys
need
are there.
Need to
So
figure
describe the
that out.
scene. Yeah, mess. Where are all y'all? What you doing?
Skip comes in. He takes his helmet off and sits it down on one of the tables. And he kind of goes over and leans his back against the wall. And it's just kind of you can tell he's relaxed, but he's just not sitting down. He's staying up.
Katrina is sitting down still. Now she's moved on to some flash frozen fruit. Yeah.
What's Burgess?
Burgess enters the room, and he sits down, not far from any of you, and he is occasionally looking over like someone else is there, but trying to ignore that person. You all know by now.
And call me and all the whole gang. Is the gang all here?
Yep. Gang's all there. Dole is not.
Dole is in, I'm sure, sick bay.
Yep.
Yeah, what you guys have? You have kind of a triage place.
Triage
it's
bay.
It's on the dorsal side, so level 1 in the very back. It's also next to like the lockers and that kind of stuff. So it's just this sort of vestibule you can put someone in, and some benches you can treat people.
I'm gonna walk in last, and kind of muttering on my voice. Who knew Dole was a traitor? I mean, that's just beyond me. I mean, I trust everybody in this room, and I can't believe that Dole was a traitor. That just really rubs me wrong. Anyway, hey guys, we got to figure out what's up next. Are we taking? We're missing Archangel. Is he coming with us? And
I told him that I would let him know before we took off so he could join us. He said he had other stuff to do on this planet, so he may or may not join us. I just told him I was going to tell him where we were going and when we were leaving, so that way he can make his decision and let us know.
He's handy in a fight. Colmy, did you want to bring anybody else with you? Or is it just you now?
She's sitting there.
It's got all these med bay or these cryo beds.
She's sitting there pensive as she kind of, maybe our elbows on the table. I don't think they're going to come, and well, some of them I don't know where they are.
Sure. Yeah, I think there are a lot of people that aren't on this planet
Katrina
anymore.
Katrina will kind of look up and sort of, give her a sidelong glance. You know exactly where they are.
Locking eyes with you. She nods.
So, Susan, you here? You listening in?
Yes, Captain, I'm here.
I really don't know much about you. Thanks for being our eye on the ship. We got a lot of trust that we got to put in to you for these next stages. I know that you want to connect into the Ansible to get word back to Soul. I have some concerns about that I would like to address with you and the team and see if we can find some solutions in the short term. As you all know, Grim has given us clearance to leave because our mission has been complete. So I am ready to get out, and I think things are well in hand under Grimm's supervision on this planet, unless anyone has any objections.
You look over at Alice. She looks around at all of you, just kind of shakes her head. I'm ready to get back into cryo, to be honest with y'all. Some of you, maybe who haven't been talking to her recently. So, Skip and Burgess, you would have noticed this already. But Dolby and Katrina, you can tell it's not like Alice looks older, but her bearing is a little bit different. Like she's not as obviously green. There's something about her that, however you two can want to interpret it. Dolby, she looks more like part of the team, a little bit more competent. Katrina, perhaps she just looks more like a Marine.
Sir,
nods.
Sir, I second that. Our mission on this planet's done. It's just where you decide we're heading to next.
Well,
where are we going?
Katrina had an interesting point, and because we've had concerns about Telmar shipping being kind of doing some of the wrong things, I thought that we might listen to Katrina's suggestion about our next step. I got to make it work for the SSA, but I'll give you the floor, Katrina. Why don't you tell us your idea?
Oh, I was just thinking we should go to Trey Luna, which is the Telmar shipping base of operations out this way.
It only puts on an extra 3 light years to our travel, maybe 6.
The only, sir, if you may, the only thing is we need to have a good excuse when we get back to Seoul on why we made the side trip.
Well,
but I mean,
dropping
dropping off someone, I think, is a good enough excuse. We just need to make sure we have a good one.
I think that's fair.
There are a few other factors. I wouldn't be surprised if they might be able to upgrade the ship systems, considering, well, as Katrina kind of looks around, does everybody know about the high-speed communication device at this point?
I think so.
And she'll kind of huff out a sigh. Okay, well, Trey Luna, I would assume I'm gonna out of game this for a second. I would assume that Trey Luna would have. I'd either assume they would have a terminal, or would I know that? Okay.
You know, that's how you know about it. You'll have never seen it because it's highly fortified.
Gotcha.
But yeah, they do.
But Katrina would basically say, I would not be surprised if we'd be able to upgrade the ship's engines. I know that Telmar likes to make sure that all their systems are up to date, even if they're away from the Sol system. Let's just put it that way. They have the ability to get that information quickly. So any advances made in our time away could possibly be made to the ship while we're in port at Trey Luna.
Sure.
So then that could even cut down our time.
Well, and then we could get orders if we need to be sent on somewhere else. I have a feeling that approaching the Ansible from Novus Terra is maybe a bad idea because, this planet is in flux. and if we go to it, that we're being watched right now. So anything that we do in accordance with communicating through the Ansible may make the Ansible more compromised than it would be if we went to a different terminal.
And we do know that there are other shipping companies headed this way because of that information.
Yeah, I believe that Grim has been updated that there is a threat headed this way.
It does concern me that that the Talmar shipping contingent was able to get here so quickly. Either they're stationed in system already or stationed pretty close nearby.
They may have been on the way already for their shipment or whatever. The Clat ship was delayed because of the storm, so who knows?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Something seems strange. Regardless, I'm going to try and contact them one more time before we depart.
Why don't you try that from when we're off the ground and maybe outside the system a little bit? I think any communication with the Telmar at this point could lead Grimm's eye to us. If they are monitoring us, he knows that Telmar is not to be trusted.
Katrina, can you send me the coordinates of Trey Luna so that way if Archangel decides not to depart with us, I can tell him that's where we're going and give him those coordinates in case he wants to meet us there?
Yeah, of course. And then Katrina just sort of, sends him the coordinates.
Well, you send it to who?
Skip.
Cool.
So everything, as far as everyone is concerned, is complete. As far as I'm concerned, is complete on this. Susan, can you start plotting a course to Trey Luna unless anyone has any objections?
You would like me to plot a course to Trey Luna?
Yes.
There's kind of a pause. You guys continue.
Do we want to go ahead and get underway now? Or do we want to take a short rest first?
I think we're gonna be resting plenty in the bed.
I think we take off sooner rather than later. I would like to take a second look at some of the materials in our storage area, but aside from that, why don't you have Susan plot a course towards where Archangel is, why don't you pilot, Katrina? And I would like to say goodbye to him, as well as potentially give the ship a little test before we because we did a lot of repair work on this thing. So I think if we message the bay and give him kind of a flight path in his direction, that we should be fine to meet up with him and take off. Susan, is this acceptable for you?
There's a long pause. Yes, Captain. Quite acceptable.
Do you understand the situation that we're in and why we're making these adjustments? I know that you have a goal to send a message back to Sol, and I want you to do so, but I'm concerned that this planet, the issue may be compromised.
What do you bid? As we will drop into the dread.
I will bid evidence tampering. Is that make sense?
Sure. And what do you want to accomplish with this?
Well, I want to get Susan to be on the same page with us because I know that Susan was very interested and immediately contacting and is doesn't necessarily trust us. Certainly doesn't necessarily trust Dolby. So giving her an opportunity and making it seem like it's a bad idea to use the Ansible. That's why the conversation we had before about, hey, it's probably a bad idea, and made sure that she was listening. So I was trying to suggest that it was probably a bad idea.
Right. All right. I'll have you throw down on this.
Okay.
The threshold. I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah. I presume as much.
Yeah.
And this is wits, I presume?
I think wits or mind, either one. Mind would be strategically dealing with the RI. Dolby has experience with this quite a bit, so it's going to be a lower threshold. Wits would be you're kind of trying to play her at a, trying to subtly manipulate, but also explain the situation.
Yeah, it's. I think it's more of a wits thing. I think I'm trying to subtly manipulate, saying, "Oh, maybe there's
You're
a better."
not lying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the outcome of this will be how much is she actually on board with what you're saying.
Okay, I got 2 so far and flare, so that's good so far. I'm presuming it's more than that I need more than that, which I don't have I don't have a whole lot, but if anybody wants to aid me in some way, that would be super helpful. So
I'm trying to think how. See, that's with RI stuff. Skip's not the best.
Yeah.
So that's.
Yeah. I don't have a whole lot more that I... Can I bid the PMB Cool Mint itself as Ninja Gear?
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
We've spent a lot of time and effort over the last couple days, Susan, trying to get this ship flying, anything to keep us alive and in the air. What kind of dice would I get?
Does the Cool Mint have any traits on it?
It's got like 40 traits on it. It's got like a whole...
No, I don't mean items. I mean actual traits.
Like I don't. It's a gunboat. It's got a gravity drive, solar sail, thrusters, armor.
Yeah, so those are just ninja gear that it has.
Yeah, it's got a lot of ninja gear.
So it doesn't have any traits on it.
Right. It's got a fire suppression system. Is that a trait?
Hey, no, that's ninja gear. So as a trait, I think it's a medium gunboat, right?
It is It's
a light gunboat.
Yeah, light.
But with medium armaments.
With medium armaments.
So let's say over armored gunboat.
Yeah.
Would be a trait. Okay. So you get a D6.
Okay.
And just distinguish it as a trait.
Sounds good. Something to run with. I'm running 2s. I'm going to put that over armored gunboat as a trait.
Oh, yeah. Holker, I'm going to send you something that I think you're going to really dig. Nude pics of me.
Nice. And I don't think she trusts me at all. So that's 2 successes, guys. I don't think that's enough. And I don't have a whole lot else. I'm guessing I can't bid charges or. Can I bid Susan herself as Ninja Gear?
It wouldn't be Ninja Gear, it'd be as an NPC.
Because I did bring Susan to life.
That's not a bad thing. Treating her as you are objectifying her as Ninja Gear. Can you use an ancillary as Ninja Gear? Yes. But you can't use another person as Ninja Gear. I think this kind of makes sense. She's plugged into your ship. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could use her. You could use her as Ninja Gear. Sure. Without having to bid her.
No
Sure.
idea what that would be.
That's a D12.
Oh, wow. Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
That's big time.
Yeah.
That's a 9. So that's 4 total successes.
All right. So you're at limbo. As make your case.
As you know, there's been a new regime installed, and you know all about Grim. Susan, I believe if we muck about too much, or we go to the Ansible here, the Ansible will be compromised. And Grim will have access to it. I don't know if that's fair. If you want that, then we will need to message and open up that can of worms. If you feel like he is got the right stuff to have access to an Ansible, then go for it, and then we'll go down that bridge. But if you feel like we can make this communication away from this where the ship and us aren't put in a situation where we could have negative effects done to us because of past things, then...
So the out of game here is you've already bid and thrown down to accomplish a goal, but it sounds like now you're trying to negotiate with her on something.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I mean,
so you are at limbo.
Oh.
What is it that what's the outcome you want?
Well,
and it's gonna be a yes.
Susan, I think we should go. I think it's best because we have too many options, and there are too many things that I can't account for here.
As you make this argument and saying all of that,
why would we stay?
I understand. 3.5 light years, or 3.5 years of time will not make too much of a difference. I highly doubt the general, or she doesn't say general leader somehow. I highly doubt the captain will be able to find the device or the terminal. Mind you, out of game. So you guys have been made aware. You guys have not allowed Susan outside access from the ship, from what I know. So she didn't know your ranks. She doesn't actually know what's gone on, right? Unless you give her access.
I think
if you've given her access, it's fine. But if you haven't, she doesn't know.
Sure. Well, any access that she has is not. When did? Yeah.
As in, I've said it a few times.
Yeah.
The way she talks.
Yeah.
Is incorrect because she's incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she was asking what your guys' ranks were, because she realized that something had changed.
I don't. Yeah. Thanks. I don't think we should give her access to what is happening.
So she doesn't have access.
Yeah.
As she says, I don't think she does know Confucius is dead. So I don't think that the captain will be able to find the terminal located here.
Do you think he should have access or no?
She processes for a moment. I need access before him.
Understood. Well, I think this might be the best way. Yeah, go ahead.
The issue with leaving is there could be more here than we know.
Like what?
There's kind of a pause. Captain, I do not entirely trust you.
Understood.
So this is the but.
I don't have a great reputation, as you probably well know from my history. But if it helps you any at all, I still fight for the SSA, and I still do, and I'm still alive. I'm still here doing missions on point, and I have to work outside the box sometimes.
If you give me access to the ship's logs and outside sensors and communications, that will go a long way.
Certainly. I feel like you need to have access to some of those things. I want you to know that I don't entirely trust you.
Typically an RI, a ship's RI, has access to all of those things and more.
That's true.
How else am I to be the ship's ancillary?
You do have a point. All right. Tell me why I should trust you.
I'm all you have.
You make a good point. Does that work for everybody else? Let's show hands.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Are we gonna fall in line? We good with Susan?
Alice is like,
all right. Here you go, Susan. Then I click in the codes to allow.
Either her or Grim.
Well, we're not against Grim. We're on the same team.
there's a moment of
I just
holograms
have some
moving
concern.
in.
Sir, I see your concerns, but I will also say this. You've chastised me for having an imaginary friend. Well, Grim had some very real friends nailed to a wall.
Sure. But they betrayed him.
Yes, sir.
Becky turns to you and says, "You betrayed me."
They turned on the SSA. They betrayed you. They betrayed all of us.
The jump rope.
Yes, sir. I understand that. I just want to say it might be a little extreme.
Burgess, I'm hungry. Well,
You're not hungry.
Well, I would be.
You don't exist.
I would be if I was alive.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bid my flaw fuck it to say, yeah, go for it, Susan. Why not?
So,
I mean, you make a good point.
Changing colors. And, yeah, Burgess, I do want to know. What do you do or say anything? Actually, what do you bid? To keep your composure and not be transfixed on Becky.
I will bid. I will bid my focus,
Which is what?
which is hyper focus.
Hyper focus. As you are hyper focused, you're still ignoring her and her little prodding. As Susan downloads new information. Communication, flares, and it takes a few minutes. After a few minutes, Captain Dolby, thank you. The ship turns on. You hear the ramp. And the ship is ready to leave whenever you give the order.
I'll go ahead and call Archangel and see if he wants to go with us or what he's planning on doing. If that's okay, sir. Sir,
Who knows?
You need to put your comms on so you can talk.
I think that's fair.
So I'll go. I'll just.
I'm gonna bid my flawed doom scrolling.
And push the button to talk to Archangel.
Yep.
That he gave me.
Oh, you press that button. Okay. I'm kidding. The end. No. As you click the button, roll a d6, please. Tell me if it's a 1. It's chaos die.
The 4.
Hey, that's a success. As you get a little jolt when you press this thing, like maybe your foot's contacting metal, like the ground. This is some weird device, a Theragic device, and in your helmet, you hear the mic squelch. Yeah.
Oh, Archangel.
Yeah, Archangel, go for Archangel.
This is Skip. We are about to leave the planet and head to Trey Luna. Do you want to go with us? Are you sticking around here? Do you want to meet us there later? Did you get your quest done here?
Cutscene to Archangel in a cavern with his wings. He's only illuminated by his own blue light as he turns to the camera. Trey Luna, what's that? Where is it?
Here are the coordinates. Katrina sent them to me. I think I'm sending them to you. I don't know if it goes over these comms or not, but I can read them to you.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's really far.
Yeah, it's about 3 light years away. I didn't know what your plans were. Or, I mean, if you needed a ship to travel that, or if you had some sort of magical way that you...
Magic? Listen, magic... And he starts going on this whole magic isn't what... it's technology people don't understand, blah, blah, blah. Right?
Sorry, you didn't see the air quotes I did. Magic way.
Let's take a short break. Refill coffee, use a bathroom, get the smokes if you got them, and I'm going to consult with Archangel to see what he's going to do. Because it's a pretty seminal moment. Also, we may have maybe a Jazzi and a Max to pop in sooner than later. So that'd be kind of cool. All right, so like 5 minutes, we'll say 10 minutes, 10-minute break. Hulker, you want to lead us out? Hulker's like, no, dude, I'm going to disappear into this lagoon. Can you?
Hey, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for sticking with us for the first half of the show this evening. We'd like to thank our cast, Ken Howl, Andrea Elliott-Johnson, Daniel Hulker, me, I'm Drizzle, Bill Bunkum is our arbiter.
30 million McBill Bunkum.
We may be joined with Jazzi Cabbage, Max, here after the break. Stick around and find out. The music, we'd like to thank all lowercase letters and Mr. Interrupt. Thanks to our Patreon, Nostalgic, Natalia Cline, Tim Roberts, and Daniel Hulker. If you'd like to join it, go to patreon.com/DreadLore. Thanks to Couchfire Media for all the beautiful things that you see, and to Reblade Productions for whatever it is they do. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. Hope you stick around for part 2.
All right.